Flashlight saved.
Nice.
She's on me now.
What's up, my dudes? It's Turd, your PS4 Dead by Daylight educational content creator.
Oh my god, the nurse. She's the best killer in Dead by Daylight. Ooh!
I mean, that's what everyone tells me. And now that cross-platform is a thing in Dead by Daylight, and I'm going up against these far superior red rank PC nurses, I should be dying almost every trial. Well, I hate to burst your fucking bubble, but it isn't happening. I'm still surviving 7 out of 10 trials against these red rank PC nurses. I want to emphasize red rank killer because with the new MMR system and the data collected for the algorithm, the only killers that I matched up against are rank 1 or rank 2. Rarely do I go up against a rank 3 or a rank 4 killer. It does happen, but more often than not, it's rank 1 or a rank 2. And I don't want you to think that I'm bragging here. That's not what I'm doing. I just want you to know that if you know how to counter the nurse, you're gonna dominate her no matter what platform she's playing on. I made a very detailed video on how to counter the nurse about a month ago, and in that video, I run a red rank PS4 nurse for 5 generators. Now you can catch that video at the end of this video, there'll be a link for it, so I recommend you check that out as well.
I can't wait to die.
Okay, we spawn in at Coal Tower. Now I spawn in by the main building, so I know that the killer is going to spawn in over by Killer Shack.
Basement's in Coal Tower.
First thing that I'll do is head into the coal tower to see if the basement is there and relay that information to my duo's partner, a discreet stoner. Now there's always a generator that spawns on the second floor of the coal tower, but this generator is extremely safe. There's multiple exits, you can see the killer come from a mile away, and it's on a platform. So you never ever want to do this generator first. You want this generator to be one of the last generators you complete. Let's say that I didn't see the basement in the coal tower. Then I would know that the basement spawned in Killer Shack, and the generator that spawns in the 2 junk tiles or in Killer Shack has the highest priority, and that's where I would be heading. But because I saw the basement in the coal tower, then the generator that spawns in these 3 junk tiles has the highest priority, and that's where I'm heading. As far as the other generator spawn locations, you're gonna have a generator that spawns in these 2 jungle gyms or this junk tile in the corner of the map. You're gonna have another generator that spawns at the other corner of the map in these 2 junk tiles or next to the logs or the water tower, depending on what the RNG is. You'll have a generator that spawns at one of these 2 jungle gyms or in the road near the jungle gyms. And finally, you'll have a generator that spawns in either the junk tile, the jungle gym, or near the logs or water tower over here. Okay, so I hear a terror radius, so I know it's not a stealthy killer, and then followed up by a nurse's blink, so now I know it's the nurse. Now within 10 seconds of the trial even starting, she already got a hit on my duo's partner Stoner, so I know she's got some skill, and Stoner knows to lead her away from the high priority generator so that some teammates, me in particular, can jump on that high priority generator. Okay, Stoner goes down and I have a purple flashlight. Unfortunately, she's facing the other direction and I'm a little too far away anyways, so attempting a flashlight save here doesn't make sense. It only gives away my position, and I don't want to do that. As soon as the nurse hooks Stoner, it appears that she's got her eyes set to another target, so I can assume that she's got barbecue and chili.
Let him blink.
Now I'm gonna wait for her to blink so that when she ends her blink, she has to fatigue, and she will not be able to double back to us. I want to touch Stoner's butt and give him some heals, but I don't want to do it out in the open, especially against a nurse who could blink straight onto us. So I'm gonna come over to these jungle gyms and heal him over here out of her line of sight. So we already know that the nurse is running barbecue and chili. She's also running corrupt intervention, seeing that the generator right in front of us is blocked by the entity. And based on how slow it's taking to heal Stoner, we know that she's got some type of healing regression perk. Now, if the nurse had thanatophobia or dying light, we would see that status effect on the bottom right-hand side of our screen. Not to mention if it was dying light, the obsession, which is me currently, would be healing at a speed of 33% faster. So we can rule both of those out. Now, I'm not injured, but Stoner is. So Stoner should see that he has the hemorrhaged and the mangled status effect on the right-hand side of his screen, which tells us that the nurse has Sloppy Butcher. There are some killers that have add-ons that could give you these status effects like hemorrhage or mangled, but the nurse is not one of them. So we can identify that the nurse has Sloppy Butcher. And if she has Sloppy Butcher, she's probably running a nurse's calling as well. Okay, let's talk about flashlight burning the nurse, because that's what I'm doing right here, and it's a really high IQ play. If at any point you shine your light onto the nurse, now it doesn't have to be a blind, it could be anywhere on her body, it will stop the progress of her charging up for a blink. Ideally, in this scenario, scenario, I would have burned the nurse before she started up her charge, so that she couldn't blink at all. However, she did start her charge before my beam touched her body, so she will still be able to blink, just not as far as maybe she wants to go. Now, that flashlight burn wasn't a complete success. It did do what I was trying to do, where it allowed the random injured survivor a chance to escape, but when she blinked into the coal tower, she blindly blinked into Stoner and was able to get an easy hit on him, even though she didn't know he was even there. So, I mean, it worked, but it didn't. I'll show you a little later in the trial 2 extremely good flashlight burns on the nurse, and we'll talk about those. I also get 2 flashlight saves, which I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, hopefully the random survivor can run the nurse long enough for us to complete this high priority generator in the middle of the map. Now, I have empathy, which is going to allow me to see the auras of any injured survivor within 128 meters. The chase is coming my direction, so I'm going to feather the generator by tap repairing it so that the killer cannot hear that I'm actually on the generator. Alright, there are a couple things I want to talk about right here, and because it's an educational commentary, I'm going to explain the current situation of what's going on right now, then I'm going to give you the insight of what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to give some scenarios on what I would do if it was a little bit different. The random goes down about 10 meters in front of me, and at the exact same time, a generator is repaired behind me, and that's indicated by the red directional marks on my screen. Now, there's a hook that's insanely close to the down survivor, so there's absolutely no way I'm going to finish this generator. But I have a flashlight, and a damn good one, so obviously I'm going to go in and attempt a flashlight save. But let's talk about what I would do if I didn't have a flashlight. It's all about good positioning versus bad positioning. Many survivors would stay crouched behind this generator or behind this tractor conveyor belt. The problem with that is once the nurse hooks the survivor, she's going to head towards the survivors that finish the generator over by Kill Shack, and she's going to cross your path. So there's a good chance that she's going to see you, and if she can get a quick down on you, that is going to put your team in a very bad position. Good positioning would be to crouch towards the nurse and hide behind these boxes so that when the nurse hooks the survivor and then blinks towards the killer shack, you can get the unhook. Okay, so while the nurse is in fatigue, looking down at the ground and cleaning off her weapon, I'm going to use this opportunity to get myself into position for the flashlight save. In the mindset of a rank 1 survivor, you're always thinking 3 steps ahead. So if I fail on this flashlight save, I know that the nurse is going to hook the survivor right away, and she's going to be instantaneously on my ass. So because the generator was completed over by Kill Shack, I want to pull the nurse that side of the board so that those survivors can sneak around us, get the unhook, finish the generator that I was just working on, and then go to the other side of the board and work on a generator over there. And if I do get the flashlight save, I'm going to react to what the nurse does next. So if she continues to chase the injured survivor, I'm going to continue to work on the generator that I was working on. If she decides to chase me, then I'm going to pull her towards Kill Shack so that the other survivors can finish this generator and then go to the other side of the board and work on a generator over there. As soon as the killer picks up the survivor, he is in lock animation. You want to wait 2 seconds before you shine your light to blind the killer. If you try to blind him too early, you might get the blind, but you will not get the flashlight save. And if you shine too late, there's a chance that the killer can look up or down or turn around and you don't get the blind at all. That was a perfectly executed flashlight save, and it appears that the nurse is going to leave the injured survivor and give chase to me. As I approach the jungle gym, I look back at the nurse and I see and I hear that she's charged up ready for a blink attack. Now, if she was farther away, I would continue to run through the jungle gym to block her line of sight and to maintain distance. But because of how close she is to me, I'm going to make it look like I'm going to the jungle gym, twist back outside when she blinks, and then twist around this junk so that she can't hit me with a second blink. Since the nurse double blinked and then swung and missed, she's going to fatigue for 4 seconds, allowing me a distance of 16 meters before she can start moving again. I want you to notice how I'm constantly looking back to locate the nurse and then adjusting my movement so that I used obstacles to block her line of sight of me. As I approach this jungle gym, the normal thing to do is to use the jungle gym to block the nurse's line of sight and just to create more distance. However, I do play as the nurse, and if I was the nurse, I would blink to right here so that if the survivor goes through this door, you get a hit. And if the survivor tries to vault the window, you get a hit. If the survivor tries to go through the other door this direction, you can chain blink and hopefully get a hit. Knowing that that's what I would do as the nurse, I double back and I'm going to head through the same door that I came through to go to Kill Shack. I'm honestly very surprised that the nurse followed my scratch marks like a lost puppy. The nurse has a base movement speed slower than survivors, so change of plans, I'm gonna hug around this wall and cut inside the jungle gym to create distance. Now if she blinks and hits me, I'm not too worried because I'm gonna get a sprint burst from the hit. While she cleans her blade, I'm gonna create distance. And she'll technically have to blink hit me 2 more times before I go down because I have dead hard. The nurse decides to rotate out of chase, and I think that's a pretty smart move considering I'm pretty confident I can run her for the remaining 3 generators. Up until the point where I got the flashlight save, this nurse was applying a ton of map pressure. I'm going to explain to you the outcome of what this match could have been like if I didn't get that flashlight save. So I go in for the flashlight save and I miss it. She hooks that survivor. Now she's got 2 people that have been hooked. She's in chase with me because I missed the flashlight save. 1 survivor has to leave objectives to come get the unhook, making it so that only 1 survivor can be working on objectives. And let's say somehow, some miracle way, she actually downs me. Well, now no one's going to be working on objectives, and we only got 1 generator done. But because I got the flashlight save and then she decided to chase me, we have now 3 generators completed. She's only hooked 1 survivor, everyone's in full health, and that's a big, huge difference between the 2 scenarios. When playing as the nurse, a lot of it's muscle memory on knowing how long to hold a charge down to go a certain distance for a blink attack. So right here, I burn the nurse before she even starts to charge for her blink. But in her mind and her muscle memory, she is charging up for a blink. So when I release my burn, she is still holding down that charge. So she thinks she's going to go 20 meters to get a hit, but in reality she only goes 2 meters. She then has to follow it up with the chain blink, but she is so distraught and her timing is off that it's going to be an easy dodge for me. So again, you want to keep looking back to locate the nurse and adjust your movement so that obstacles block her line of sight. As soon as this tree blocks the nurse's line of sight, I see an opportunity and I'm going to seize it. So obviously the nurse thinks I'm just going to continue to run and maintain distance, but I'm actually going to come back to the pallet and get an easy pallet stun, followed by a flashlight burn so that she cannot blink across the pallet for an easy hit. When she realizes she cannot blink, she is forced to move around the pallet. So I react, I go the other direction, and I hear her charge for a blink attack. As soon as the tree blocks her line of sight, I double back, making her miss her first blink, and when she chains for her second blink, I triple back, using the tree and the boxes to block her swing. At this point, the nurse has to know that I'm way out of her league. She probably feels very defeated, and if I was her, I'd probably go hide in the corner, get into the fetal position, and rock myself to sleep.
Fucking destroying her, making my bitch.
I know that the last 2 remaining generators have to be close to being repaired by now, so I'm gonna just chill, you know, take a little stroll in the park, look for some totems. I did my job. Now, this educational video is not completely finished yet. I still get another flashlight save, and at the end game collapse, there's some good things that we do and some bad things that we do that I'll go over. But I do want to take this downtime to thank all you beautiful people for all the love and support. I just surpassed 400 subscribers, and I cannot be more thrilled. So if you've already subscribed, you fucking rock, dude. Thank you so much. And if you haven't, consider subscribing because it's free. And there aren't too many YouTube content creators out there that break down the videos the way that I do. And don't forget to hit the like button because it takes less than half a second. And the more people that hit the like button, the better the video will be in the YouTube algorithm. And finally, if you want to learn how to play the nurse, I made a nurse guide for beginners video that you can catch at the end of this video. Okay, Stoner goes down, and this is going to be his second hook. Now it takes 20 seconds to open the gate, so I don't think I'm gonna get it prepped in time. And unfortunately, I missed the window for the locked animation flashlight save.
Got her with that
Oh,
flashlight.
damn. Thank you, sir.
And I'm gonna be completely honest, there was no skill involved here. I was 100% lucky to get this flashlight save.
She does not like me.
You know, it's extremely hard for the nurse to get a blink attack on a survivor that continues to use obstacles to block her line of sight. If you can implement how I run the nurse into your gameplay, eventually you're going to get confident playing against the nurse. And it's not going to matter what rank she is, what platform she is, she's going to struggle against you. Now, I pulled the nurse away from the other gate that is open, so I would imagine by now that the other survivors are at the gate. And I'm really surprised that they're not. I don't get why they're not, to be completely honest.
Okay.
So I'm going to head towards that gate, and technically the nurse is going to have to blink attack me 3 times because I have dead hard. So Claudette is healing in the exit, and I don't know if she has health care, which is going to take her 32 seconds, or if she has a med kit, which is going to take her 16 seconds. I also don't know how far along she is in the healing process, whether she just started or if she's almost finished. What I do know is that was a sexy fucking blink by the nurse. And I tried to come in and take a hit for the Fang, but unfortunately I don't get there in time. Now, I make 3 huge mistakes at this endgame collapse. And Fang, if you watch this video, I am truly sorry. The first mistake is that I should have just let Claudette heal herself, and I should have been ready to take a hit for the incoming survivors. And the second mistake is I'm a complete fucking tater tot, because I botched an easy flashlight save. The animation lock starts and I absolutely nail the 2-second mark. And my accuracy is pinpoint. I'm literally fucking beaming the nurse right in her face. And I don't even know how, but my sausage thumbs move the analog stick up into the sky. Now the beam's not on her face. And then my dumbass takes a hit and now I'm injured and I can't even go in for the unhook. And then to top it off, I leave the trial, not even giving Fang a chance to Kobe off her first hook. So I hope you learned from all the good things that I did in this trial, as well as how badly I fucked up at the end of this trial. And it just shows that even players like me, we all make mistakes. So don't get flustered, just, play the game, enjoy it, have fun, and try to learn from your mistakes. And again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment as I get back to everyone.
I got 2 iridescent.